Hello again, once again, viewers, and you are welcome to Wellbeing Call. Today I'll be talking about a very important gland in our body, and it's called the thyroid gland. So keep listening for more information about what your thyroid gland does, how you can look after it, and what happens when things go wrong. So you are welcome back, viewers. Now, talking about the thyroid gland. This gland is located in front of our neck, just right there. And the size of it is something like this. Two of this, because there are two lobes, one on either side of our neck. And it's usually, for most people, connected with a little strip of the same muscle that makes up the gland. So quite a small gland, but with huge impact. And which is why in infancy, if due to, well, what could be called a congenital error, that means while the baby was forming, it didn't form very well, and therefore the thyroid gland, when the baby was born, is not functioning well. This could lead to stunted growth. It could lead to mental retardation, constipation, excessive sleepiness for the baby, and overall abnormal growth. That is how crucial. And as we grow older, this gland grows bigger to that sort of size. So it's two lobes of that kind of size on either side of our neck, just there. So guys, the thyroid gland's function in the body is multiple. It impacts virtually every cell in the body. So some of the key functions of the thyroid gland is to regulate our metabolic rate, which is how each cell in our body actually produces energy. So the thyroid gland is responsible for producing the hormones that do that. It also regulates our heart rate. It regulates how we cope with temperature changes. Cold temperature, hot temperature, our thyroid gland regulates that. It also regulates digestion. So as you can see, it impacts the entire body. The two key hormones produced by the thyroid gland are thyroxine and triiodothyronine. Thyroxine and triiodothyronine. So two common conditions with the thyroid gland is hypothyroidism and hyperthyroidism. Hypothyroidism is when there is insufficient amount of thyroid hormones being produced. Hyperthyroidism is when excessive amounts of thyroid hormones are being produced. And some of the signs you will see when there is too little thyroid hormone: depression, dry skin and hair, weight gain, sensitivity to cold, muscle aches and pains, fatigue, low concentration, irregular periods, and constipation. And signs in hyperthyroidism are anxiety, unexplained weight loss, unable to stand high temperatures, and hair loss. There is also increased heart rate, sleeping difficulties, mood swings, and tiredness. Now I would move on to why hyperthyroidism happens, or why hypothyroidism happens. The first on the list that plays a very key role is stress. When we are in stressful situations, when we encounter stressful moments, our bodies produce cortisol, adrenaline, and noradrenaline. Those are the stress hormones. These stress hormones are produced by the body from an amino acid called tyrosine. And tyrosine is also the base ingredient for the body to produce thyroid hormones. So, when we are stressed, the body is having to produce these stress hormones and is therefore consuming much of the tyrosine, which is equally being used by the thyroid gland for producing thyroid hormones. So clearly there is a competition for nutrients, and because more stress hormones are being produced, more of the tyrosine is being used up, which means the thyroid gland is unable to produce sufficient amounts of thyroid hormones. This is one of the ways that stress impacts the functioning of the thyroid gland. The second reason why these conditions happen is malnutrition. The thyroid gland needs iodine and selenium in addition to tyrosine. So foods deficient in iodine and tyrosine would mean that there isn't sufficient nutrients to produce thyroid hormones. The third point that I want to mention in relation to the reason why hypo or hyperthyroidism happens is inflammatory conditions. Sometimes this is due to the immune system actually attacking the thyroid gland itself, which then leads to the swelling. Sometimes it can be quite visible, where the swelling is actually seen physically on the neck, there in the front of the neck. And the immune system attacks the thyroid gland, which leads to the thyroid gland producing excessive amounts of the hormone. Sometimes, on the other hand, it's the thyroid gland not producing sufficient amounts of the thyroid hormones. So how can you avoid experiencing these conditions? How can you help your thyroid gland to function very well, given that it's a key gland in the body, producing a very important hormone, helping the body to do its everyday job? I mean, energy production. You need energy for everything, even to breathe. We all need energy. So, and this is one of the hormones that is behind this happening. Prevention is better than cure. So how can we prevent this? One of the key ways is to manage your stress. Manage stress. Some of the key points and ways by which you can manage stress is to ensure that you have enough sleep, quality sleep every day. Trying to sleep or go to bed round about the same time every day and rising round about the same time every day. Enough rest. Exercise helps to moderate stress. Having a reason to actually wake up and get out of bed every day. You must have something to look forward to every day. That is looking forward to something of purpose. something you can add to yourself or to someone else or to life generally. You need to have that sense of purpose. That helps to lower whatever stresses you may encounter from day to day. Meditation is great and fantastic, so is mindfulness. So about 10 minutes every day, if you can find 10 minutes in your day just to practice mindfulness and meditation, that will go a long way to calming your mind, lowering your heart rate, and deep breathing. So you are providing your body with sufficient oxygen, because when we are stressed, we are shallow breathing. But deep breathing, you're breathing from deep down your belly, and that helps to get out carbon dioxide, which your body doesn't need, and you're inhaling oxygen, which your body needs for the production of energy. Also, just being in nature is very calming, and good relationships, good family relationships, good social relationships, relating with people that mean much to you, people that love you and people that you love back. That helps with calming stress. So you can imagine a situation where you've been at work and it's been really busy and you have been stressed. How calming will it be to know that you are going back to your home where you have family members to spend your evening with, that you love, a calming environment at home. That in itself would help with bringing down the stress that you just experienced at work. The other aspect of this is balanced meals. Balanced meals. So malnutrition is one of the reasons why you could experience hypo or hyperthyroidism. One of the nutrients needed for producing thyroid hormones is tyrosine. Tyrosine is an amino acid. Amino acids are from proteins. So your diet needs to be from good, healthy sources of protein and good, healthy sources of carbohydrates, good, healthy sources of fat. Another ingredient that is important in the formation of thyroid hormones is iodine. Iodine you would get from seafoods, from seaweeds. If you use sea salt in cooking, it will be present in there as well. And also iodine will be present in other foods generally. It would just depend, especially grown foods, foods that have been grown, planted. If the soil contains good amounts of iodine, then your food would also contain that, because you don't necessarily have to eat seaweeds. Not everybody eats seaweeds. Not everybody likes seafoods anyway. But from your plant sources of foods, you can also get iodine. It would just depend on whether the soil in which it was grown in actually contains that nutrient. Same goes for selenium. Selenium is needed for your thyroid hormones, for one to be converted to the other, because thyroxine needs to be converted to triiodothyronine, which is the more active form. So, and for that conversion to take place, you need selenium. Again, the body only needs these things in very minute quantities, but they do need to be there. So, selenium you would get in Brazil nuts. It would also be present in other foods, again, just depending on where these foods have been grown, whether the soil actually contains rich nutrients like this. Selenium is also present in whole grains and sunflower seeds. Right, so guys, thank you for listening. I hope that information was informative for you, and I hope you begin to take steps to eat more healthily and reduce your stress levels. Stress impacts every aspect of our lives. So taking steps to work on your stress and work on your stressors is very important to fending off disease. Thank you for listening, everybody, and please like, please subscribe, please share, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.